Thank you for joining us on our panel discussion today, the role of AI in clinical trials. My name is Dan Piekaj. I'm head of healthcare and life sciences here at DataArt. I've been with the company about 11 years, and I've been working in clinical trial technology for over 20. Gene, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure, Dan. Thanks for bringing me in today. I really appreciate the opportunity. Gene Buckley, I lead the customer success team that focuses on data and AI, working in our health clients across the U.S.
Great. Andre?
Thanks for inviting me into this call. I'm solution architect at DataArt, specializing in AI and also a participant of healthcare and life sciences practice.
Great. Thanks a lot, Andre and Gene. I appreciate you guys being here. So I wanted to get together with you guys and talk a little bit about artificial intelligence in life sciences and how artificial intelligence has changed over the last 5 years, 6 years. I remember back in 2017, MD Anderson, over the course of spending 5 years trying to build a clinical decision support tool using IBM Watson, ended up failing to actually implement the project and spent $62 million doing it. The thing is, AI has changed. It's not what it was before. There's all the heavy lifting, all the research that had to go into it. It has been packaged down to the point now where it's a tool pretty much anyone can work to implement using services like Azure. Andre, do you want to talk a little bit about how AI has changed over the last few years and what makes it different? Why is it such a intelligent and powerful tool these days?
Absolutely, Dan. So in my opinion, just a few years ago, you had to find a team of ML engineers just to adapt some model to your needs, to make it, just answer your questions. And it was a great deal of where to host this model, how to provide, just operational support. And it has changed, as you mentioned. Yes, these tools are available in clouds, and Microsoft Azure does a great job of making this tool widely accessible. Oh, and with the development of such techniques and as retrieval augmentation, as prompt engineering, we can interact with a model, with a large language model naturally, just asking questions in plain English or maybe any other language and get answers. If you can provide some relevant context, ask the right question, then the model's behavior will be changed and you will get the right answers. Now over to you, Gene. Maybe you could talk a little bit about how this transformation is playing out with your clients.
Absolutely, Andre. Really appreciate it. We've seen a remarkable uptick of AI tools with our clients, particularly in the last year. The biggest accelerator has been the advancement of effectiveness of large language models, LLMs. These models are proving to be game changers for our clients, especially in areas like medical documentation and patient engagement. The other advantage is the Microsoft platform ensures that these tools work effectively with all the other tools that clients are implementing across their data estate and their application estate. This enables the clients to move more rapidly than ever before. Great example we see is in our healthcare provider space and the extension of predictive analytics platforms leveraging AI. A lot of our providers have 360 view of their clients, their current health, their procedures, the meds they're on. And by applying AI, they're able to better predict emergencies, improve diagnostics, and optimize treatments. Another example we're seeing is on the front office experience by simplifying check-in for patients and also by marrying fax engagement between labs and providers directly into patient records. The feedback's been overwhelming, and it's not only benefiting clients, it's improving organizational efficiency.
Gene, as we're working with Azure and our clients, I've seen very similar to when cloud first came out, a lot of healthcare and life sciences companies were very worried about data privacy. And now that AI is such a powerful tool, there's also a lot of questions around data privacy, all the clinical data that they're going to load and leverage with AI. Does Azure have access to it? Do you guys use that data to train other models?
Yeah, Dan, I appreciate it. It's a crucial question. I'm glad you brought it up. When a client uploads data to Azure, it's both secure and private to that client. It's protected in both transit and at rest. We comply with applicable healthcare regulations, and Microsoft does not have access to your data, nor will we use it to train models or for any other purpose. Microsoft's here to provide cloud-based capabilities as defined by the client, nothing else.
So as of now, I feel like we're at another turning point in the clinical trial world. I remember when EDC came out and we moved from paper to digital. And now with artificial intelligence and the power that it has to actually accelerate clinical trials, to actually get drugs and medical devices to market sooner, I think we're going to see, and we're already seeing a lot of major changes and innovations in this space. Andre, can you talk a little bit about how AI can be used for regulatory compliance and to accelerate clinical trials?
So, Dan, thank you for the question. I believe that it would be fair to say that AI is revolutionizing the way we're working with clinical trial protocols, and it helps in many ways. First of all, it can analyze the previous researches, the local regulations to craft whole sections of clinical trial protocol. And we've developed a tool in DataArt specifically to assist with this type of data extraction. For instance, we were able to dynamically create complete sections of data privacy procedures for the data processing. And in clinical trials, we're often dealing with at least 100-page documents, and it takes hundreds of man-hours just to read through the existing research papers to extract the important parts of it. And AI can help to turn this static content into an interactive Q&A tool. This helps with accessing information effectively, significantly reducing time that required for the clinical trial to get from the design phase up to the regulatory submission.
Yeah, so Gene, I assume Microsoft has done similar types of projects with your clients. Are there any projects or case studies you might want to bring up, that have impacted these areas of clinical trials?
Yeah, Dan, I mean, as we look at it, we spend a lot of time with clients trying to determine the area of greatest potential impact. And what we hear from them is what they're wrestling with is a 300% increase in regulatory mandates. Globally, there's 500,000 regulations and reference documents that have to be wrestled with 25,000 new documents coming out every year. How do you keep current? How do you keep compliant? In response, LLMs are being used to transform how trial protocols are managed and created. A specific example is the annotation of protocol documents, automating the extraction of eligibility criteria, and cutting annotation time in half. Additionally, we provide researchers with baseline editable templates for clinical trials, accelerating their initial documentation process. We're seeing clients using advanced NLP techniques and Gen AI for text clustering, summarization, and natural language generation. These methods not only expedite the development of clinical and trial documents, but also enhance the accuracy and relevance to the specific trial requirements. These initiatives are really good examples of how Microsoft is complementing human expertise with technology, not replacing it. We're focused on accelerating product development using these technologies to simplify clinical trial management.
Gene, Andre, one area that you know, is definitely a difficult area to handle. It comes down to patient recruitment, finding the right patients for a trial. I've worked on some specific projects in this area, so I can talk a little bit about what we've done in the past at DataArt. For instance, being able to leverage general AI to go and connect to databases like clinicaltrial.gov to understand all the inclusion and exclusion criteria of all the trials that are currently actually onboarding new patients, and being able to mix that with electronic health record data to find patients, for instance, patients with rare diseases that are, it might be 0.1% of the population that would have this disease. And finding those patients for the trial, it's critical. And just wondering, Andre, I believe there was a project you worked on in oncology, right?
Yes, that's right, Dan. I think that this was project in the realm of cancer research, and we were able to leverage state-of-the-art NLP techniques to extract so-called eligibility criteria from clinical trials. And we also enhanced this data with well-known medical ontologies. So basically, we turned patient data and eligibility criteria with a set of exclusion-inclusion attributes. And we were able to use then even simpler algorithms after, just heavy lifting was done with the help of AI tools to match patients and clinical trials, and to help with enrollment of such patients into relevant clinical trials and researches. That was one of the, I think, critical examples that, first of all, helped to speed up this enrollment process, this recruitment process, and also did it with a great precision.
Now, Andre, I believe there was also a project that we worked on, and the goal was to improve awareness of study safety. Can you maybe share a little bit about that project?
Yes, it's another example of what we've done. And again, this all starts at many things in clinical trials. It all starts with analysis of our clinical trial protocol. So we were able to use these documents along with the local regulations, local privacy regulations, to craft drafts of informed consent forms. This is a document. It's a vital document in clinical trials that explains what are the medical risks, what are the medical interventions that are planned in the clinical trial, and do this in accordance with the research data, in accordance with the local laws, so the potential participants can be fully aware of what they're signing up before their clinical trial starts.
And besides that, are we also working in the area of using AI for safety monitoring?
Absolutely, Dan. So I believe that the biggest challenge is not even using AI tools, but the biggest challenge is vast amounts of data, first of all. And therefore, we must use cloud technologies, for instance, Microsoft Azure, to ingest data coming from thousands of devices, IoT devices, or maybe wearables, to track and analyze these data in near real time. And in one of our projects, we used IoT devices to track the sleep quality of the patients, any irregularities in their sleep patterns, to ensure that we might provide interventions when they are needed, and provide them timely. And this is not possible without using AI tools, because it is not possible to react to thousands of events coming into the cloud and being processed in real time. And I would probably ask Jane about what are the capabilities and how AI tools are used by Microsoft clients to analyze similar anomalies.
Yeah, Andre, there's a great example. We've been working with a large pharmaceutical client. They had asked for assistance in simplifying a reporting obligation they had on a quarterly basis. It was very manual intensive. It was run really by spreadsheets. They pushed a bunch of spreadsheets out. They were then manually reviewed, looking for anomalies. They were then re-aggregated back. Not very efficient, not very effective. And working with them, we developed an anomaly pattern that was originally intended to basically identify anomalies and then push to those analysts for reason coding and documentation. What's been really exciting for the client is that with the introduction of GPT-4, we've been able to extend that project, and now using that LLM, basically pushing summary and reason coding already in place to analysts for review. So it not only improves the efficiency and the accuracy, but it allowed us real-time updates and adjustments. So, just like, what you called out in that sleep study, Andre, we're seeing that there's lots of opportunity for our clients to extend the detection of anomalies and then use either large language models or even small language models, depending on what they're attempting to do, to both summarize and drive more quickly to results.
It's interesting. I think the story you just told about, extracting data from various systems into Excel spreadsheets, emailing them around. I've ran into multiple large pharma companies that are still doing things like pharmacovigilance or even tracking regulatory affairs by doing this and emailing around. And, it's very interesting the level of efficiency that we can actually gain by automating a lot of this and leveraging the new AI tools. I was recently at a clinical trial AI workshop, and we were talking about regulatory submissions and medical writing, and how this area in particular is probably going to be one of the first areas to be disrupted. Because as you guys have mentioned, using something like GPT-4, being able to create reports, create documents, and just streamline the regulatory submission process is, I think it's ripe for disruption. I don't know, Andre, any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I believe that AI tools can do the heavy lifting of standardizing the multimodal data. Basically, I'm talking about something like medical imaging, maybe just unstructured, non-standard documents from a clinical practice, using this analysis to close the gap between different electronic records of a patient in different formats, and use this data to enhance the way how we're ingesting the data into the system for the further analysis. And another thing that AI can help with, of course, is providing insights into the clinical data, into the patient records. In the DataArt, we have worked on creating a project that helped with standardizing and creating patient record data automatically based on semi-structured or unstructured data as well.
Oh, interesting. Gene, have you guys done anything recently in regulatory affairs, helping with submissions? Any other case studies you may want to add?
Yeah, just to tie to what Andre was talking about in terms of kind of the reality of a data estate. I mean, the common challenge our clients see is, the data that is going to make their effort most relevant, most impactful, exists in disparate systems. It's siloed in different lines of business within their own organization, or it exists in spreadsheets, not even in a structured system. As a matter of fact, a recent study that we've reviewed with clients says 60 to 70% of their time is actually spent on data collection and engineering versus analysis. So clearly there's an opportunity. Basically, leveraging AI and a set of Microsoft data tools, you can take this disparate environment and move it to a unified platform. It's crucial then to basically be able to get to that data set and drive to actionable insights. Good example of this transformation is work we just did with another large pharmaceutical client on how they improved their reporting processes. In this case, data from their Argus safety database was being manually extracted, similar to the story I just told a moment ago, to spreadsheets, adjusted, then distributed daily, and then have a required reaggregation. Potential impact there is delaying reactions to serious adverse events and introducing potential error on every step of the way. We streamlined that event using a set of Microsoft tools to automate data extraction and integration, enabling real-time monitoring and significantly speeding up the total response time to the adverse events. This modernization and data handling has enhanced patient safety and optimized the manual process the client was wrestling with.
Yeah, as we're coming towards the end of this panel discussion, there's one thing I want to leave the people who are watching the discussion and listening to the discussion. When it comes to doing a proof of concept on generative AI, today, we can get that done in a matter of a couple of weeks. It's not like it was before. It's not going to take years. It's not going to take, millions of dollars. The tools are here and ready to fully disrupt almost every area of the clinical trial process. I'm very excited for the future and, seeing how our clients and Azure will work together in implementing these tools. So if you would like to contact DataArt, please use the QR code on the screen, which will take you to our website, our Healthcare and Life Sciences landing page. Also, my email address is available right below it. Gene, would you like to close this out? Is there anything else you would like to add?
Sure, Dan. First, I appreciate the time with you and Andre. I thought it was great. I'd like to just reinforce the value of the partnership that we see with DataArt and the examples where the three of us, the client, DataArt, and Microsoft, are working on projects such as what we described today, and the difference between the timing of implementation going from 9 to 12 months to under a quarter. So very exciting for our clients and very appreciative of the partnership.
Yeah, it's been great being a Microsoft solution partner. Thank you very much. Have a good day, Gene. Have a good day, Andre.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.